Hello everyone, my name is Boulevard here for giantslayertv to bring you the top 3 decks, Fight Night Legends. In this series, we'll follow along with Fight Night Legends every single week and take a look at top performing decks, popular decks, and just decks to keep an eye on. But before we get into the video, don't forget to hit subscribe and hit the little bell icon to stay up to date on all the latest content. And if you're interested in playing in a future Fight Night Legends, you can find an application to do so at giantslayertv/lor. There you'll fill out a form of some basic information like your name, country of residence, some information about your previous accomplishments in Legends of Runeterra, because while we're always looking to highlight new talent, this is still a competitive tournament. We have to vet you a little bit. Now, to break down exactly what it is, Fight Night Legends is an 8-person invitational tournament taking place on Thursday, Friday, and Monday for Brazil, Europe, and the Americas respectively. The event runs in a standard Riot Lock format, meaning each player brings 3 decks, no overlapping champions or region combinations, and bans one of the opponent's decks to play a best of 3 in which they must win with their 2 unbanned decks. The event is double elimination, with the top 2 players being invited back next week for a chance to prove themselves once again. Now, to catch you up on the last week of Fight Night Legends, at Fight Night Brazil, we saw the end of Trevo and Sujukron's rivalry as neither player made it back to the finals, leaving Team Hydra's Dudu de Nunu to win the entire tournament with Ziggs Talia, Riven Victor, and Yordles in Arms, Piltover, and Zaun. Team Hydra also walked away with a second place trophy this week thanks to Finnish Draven, Scion Vi, Riven Rumble, and Yordles in Arms, Piltover, and Zaun. EU was ahead of the curve on ending its rivalries, so we were sure to get some new faces this week, but last week's runner-up Kazmin came in clutch with the win, running back the same lineup of Scouts, Sivir Akshan, and Pantheon Yuumi Taric despite the new patch. Runner-up Genesis CCG gave the people what they wanted by incorporating Mono Shurima into his lineup, and then rounded it out with both the Demacia and Piltover and Zaun variants of Yordles in Arms. And in the Americas, we confirmed that the new patch brought in a new age as Floppy Mudkip's incredible streak finally came to an end after he finished in 4th place. Your new champion, Kevvor24, brought a very old school lineup of Thresh Aurelion Soul, Feel the Rush, and Go Hard, by which I mean the original version of Gangplank, Elise, and Twisted Fate. Second place also went to a brand new face, The Cup Is Mine, who climbed to the top with Lulu Ari, Draven Scion Vi, and Aphelios Victor. Now that you know what went down, let's talk top 3. Number 3 this week we have Draven Scion Vi, one of only 2 decks to be repeated amongst finalists. This blast from the past is making its debut in our top 3. Floppy Mudkip had some success with this deck on the previous patch, and it seems like others may finally be starting to take notice, and it's really the same deck we kind of left it as a couple of patches ago. Aggro out the early and mid game, drop a Scion, finish off with Burn if they're not dead. We're not reinventing the wheel on this one. It's a classic. Minimorph's play rate is at an all-time low, and it's got enough fearsome units to slip through the cracks against a lot of decks. Of course, Scion himself is still a powerhouse. I do also want to mention that neither player was on the Decimate version that became very popular toward the end of the deck's tenure. We're definitely looking at a more classical version. Our number 2 spot this week goes to Aphelios Victor. While it didn't win any of the events this weekend, it did do a lot of heavy lifting if you extend your view down to the top 4 of each event. While Sundisk was for sure the hottest topic of patch day, once things cooled off a little and everyone noticed how well the newly buffed Aphelios and Victor worked together, we finally found ourselves with an updated version of the fan favorite deck, the Rubin Pile, a Zoe Vi toolbox deck. With 2 new champions at the helm, or not, depending on whose list you're looking at, since Zoe and Vi slipped into a few of the lists and we saw nearly every combination of the 4 except all 4 of them together. But the deck is doing big things and is the go-to Aphelios deck for the time being, with no other variant of Aphelios really matching what Aphelios Victor did here on the opening week. And finally, at number 1, we have specifically Piltover and Zaun, Yordles in Arms. Widely regarded as the best deck in the game, and it is almost entirely unscathed by the balance patch, Flame Chompers and Lulu still give you hefty backline access for disrupting Voltron-like strategies, and Elusives, who knew, are still good when you buff them by Yordles in Arms. Ironically, this is one of the highest interaction decks that's playable right now, as a lot of slower strategies have been gate-kept a little bit by Sundisk, giving it a fair shot at really anything you want to throw at it. We know Yordles in Arms is something Riot has their eyes on, but for now we all just have to watch it dominate a little bit longer. And that's it. You're all caught up on what happened on Fight Night. Yes, it was a lot of Yordles in Arms. If I look at the lists here, we see just an insane amount throughout the top 4 of each event. But hey, It is what it is. Maybe something new and interesting will happen next week. Maybe you'll be there next week, and you can bring something new and interesting to take down this powerhouse, maybe even make it into the top 3 decks here. So if you enjoyed this video, leave a little likey like since you did make it this far. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Ring the little bell icon. Get the notifications whenever a new video goes live. Again, I've been Boulevard for Giant Slayer TV. Let me know in the comments below if there's any new deck that you're really hoping picks up. Sundisk didn't have a great week 1 performance. Is it going to perform in week 2? Let me know what you think.